Well, Shane, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Dreamweaver and what you got going on this year.
Well, we've got a lot going on. We just moved into a new facility, so we've been busy with that. And
I heard it was like an old preschool or something.
yeah, we bought a old school and kind of reworked that to work for us, and it's working out well. But it's been a lot of work getting there, and yeah, so we just keep plugging away.
Yeah,
Great. Keep a lot of the labor in Michigan.
Yeah, we try to make everything in the United States that we can be competitive. There's a few things that we import or do offshore, but for the most part, 90% of the stuff we make every day is made right in Michigan.
It's a fascinating story, really, how Dreamweaver got started. It's a powerhouse in the industry now, but how did you end up where you're at now?
Well, I guess I didn't have a whole lot of choice. I'm a second generation charter captain. So my dad started in the mid to late 70s, and yeah, I've been fishing pretty much every day of every summer since I was about 15, seriously. So I'm 45 now, so should be 30 and out, right, Vince?
Vince, you're entering your 40th year this year.
40th season this year. In fact, I had the pleasure to get to know Shane's father. He was a real go-getter. He's right. He really didn't have a choice. I mean, he just was always looking for the next great thing. And you probably don't even know this. I was actually at a steak dinner where he was like trying to pitch us to be involved in it, and I was, and I still am today, very loyal to the people I was working with at the time, and I was like, no, I better not mess with that. And look at it today.
Well, I've been actively involved in the lure end of things since I graduated from college in 2003. So, but yeah, I remember coming out here, Vince, 20 years ago, and we couldn't get anybody to even touch one of our spoons. And today, the great people of New York are some of our best and biggest customers. So
yeah, I mean the product speaks for itself. I do remember us having a conversation where you were like, "Man, I really want you to get running my spoons," and I did, and we did very well right away. And I liked how this is anybody that knows me knows I don't blow smoke. He's got blades that work at different speeds at different times for different species, and that is a really great thing to have. I mean,
well, that's one of the main reasons why I decided to come on today. Is I was hoping you'd spill some secrets. So,
well,
because I know nobody's got any more than you do.
Well, we did touch on it in the first session here today. I think size of the bait is a big deal.
Sure.
And it's overlooked.
Absolutely.
Guys do day to day, locationally, if they go 100 miles down the lake chasing, the big fish, whether it's on Lake Michigan or Lake Ontario, they really got to find out what the fish are eating. Now, we do so much volunteer stomach sampling and stuff like that. It was almost second nature for us. But that can really tip you off on,
Sure.
And it's not big lure, big fish all the time.
Absolutely not.
If that's what's swimming in that water, we're going to catch a lot more fish, including big fish, if you match it. Match the hatch.
Yep. No, there's no doubt about that. We see it, from year to year on spoon sizes, what's more popular and
Definitely.
trending. And, yeah, for sure.
I would expect our bait to be growing. We had a huge hatch a couple of years ago. So they're going to move through the pipeline, and whether it's more standards or mags, will remain to be seen. But
Historically, we've sold a lot of mags out this way, more so than Michigan. But I believe you guys still have some. I don't know if you have bigger alewife out here, or I know you got. You guys are still blessed with some dirty water here and there, where we have crystal clear water in Lake Michigan most of the time. So
100%. A lot of guys take for granted how fortunate we are in Lake Ontario to be downstream from Lake Erie. I mean, it's a productive factory of rich water, and to have that coming in from the Niagara River, it isn't just in the spring. That's draws fish sure in the spring, but that's feeding that lake with nutrient-rich water.
I wish we had a Niagara.
So we like to, the guys that are on the lake, that move around Lake Ontario, we like to watch what goes on in Michigan because you are fishing much clearer water on a daily basis. So whether we're ever faced with that forever, or whether it's a seasonal thing, or maybe how we deal with a rollover, we can learn a lot.
Well, I see you guys don't run near the amount of long lines and stuff that we run in Lake Michigan, and I think that's why. I mean, you don't have to, so why would you?
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
we're doing, we start off right in the morning with 8 long lines, and I talk to guys out here, and they're like, well, maybe when the sun goes up and things slow down, we'll put a couple out, but
we can still get a lot of rigger action. And, sometimes you just want to keep it simple, because why would you want to hook big fish on your riggers and have them get into one side of the boat?
Yeah.
But if that's how you're living,
yeah,
and that's where your fish are coming from,
you don't have a choice.
Right.
Yeah.
Shane, we getting some questions. One of them is just, what's new? What do you guys have new for this year?
Well, we have a small plug that we're working on right now that should be done soon. We have a few new colors. We haven't got real aggressive on the new colors because we've been moving and everything. We did just purchase all the assets of Bay Rat lures, so
Okay.
that's gonna take us a while to get up and running, but it is coming, and it's just gonna take some time for us to get back in production with that.
Mhm.
So you're gonna make the full line of body baits,
Yep.
stick baits.
Yep.
So, in case the people don't understand out there, they're coming out with a smaller plug. It'll be a smaller version of the Captain's Choice, or
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Smaller version of the Captain's Choice, but it'll be fixed harness, which nobody makes a smaller fixed harness plug like that.
Okay.
So that's kind of exciting. A lot of people have been asking us for a lot of years, mostly for the pierhead staging situations, for a smaller plug like that, and so we've been working on that. Trying to think what else. I got a lot of things brewing, but
So I noticed, I'm a big fan of the Ninja inline boards, and I noticed that he added a smaller board. So
Yep, we did.
sizes now.
Yep.
That's great. They're a tremendous tool that'll be real popular with the walleye fishermen. There's certain times with flat lines that will run that small board. It's just another tool to have in the arsenal, and they're unique in the way they come off the line. So
yeah, that's been a great product for us. We've had them for a few years now, and we've sold. It's been a really good reception. We've sold a lot of them and have had little to zero negative feedback on it. I had one guy tell me today that the only problem he's had with the boards is his buddy threw one overboard. So those are nice things to hear. I always like it's good when you put a lot of time and effort into something and it works out well.
So another tip, and this one will save you some money. I write name and phone number on all the boards, and I've gotten a lot of them back that we have lost over the years, because a lot of cottage owners don't even fish, so they're not even tempted to keep it. But I've had other fishermen return them too.
Yep.
It's just sportsmanship.
Right. Yeah. A lot of it's funny because a lot of people kind of give fishing a bad name, but what I've found, just even in our neck of the woods on the Facebook groups, we see it all the time. It's like, hey, I found this, rod bag on the side of the road. Tell me what's in it, and it's yours. And like, people want to do the right thing. If you make it easy for them to do the right thing, they will.
Yeah. Yep. Most of the time, I mean,
you're right.
It's easy for us to get down on others and human nature, but for the most part, most of us are pretty good people. I imagine, though, if you have your name on the side of a probe, you're not going to get it back.
Oh, yeah, that's scuba diver isn't bringing it back. One thing I witnessed And I don't know if you're out of the same marina. Are you at Abrahamson still?
It's called Lake Street now, but
Yeah.
yes, yep.
So I witnessed this, and you were pretty young at the time, but I watched a small block Chevy engine, and I believe it was in one of the Finlander boats. I watched him get changed by a group of guys. They actually walked the small block Chevy out of the boat down the dock and walk another one in and got installed.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That actually, believe it or not, if you spend some time at a marina, you usually see that going on.
Regularly?
Yeah, I mean, once or twice a summer, somebody's got problems.
That's
And
sportsmanship right there.
yep.
That's pretty cool. Jane, just tell us a little bit. I mean, you talked about ninja boards being a little bit different. How if people haven't used them or haven't seen them before, how does it work, and why is it an advantage?
Well, it's basically it works really well for one. It's just well, the main type of fishing that I'm familiar with is salmon fishing. So we built the perfect size board for a range it's really good from anywhere from, I'd say, 10 colors of lead all the way up to 450 plus of copper. So you can pull anything with that one board, but it's got a button on it, so it releases both the front and the back releases at the same time. So you don't have to lose time. One of the critical points is when you're taking that board off the line, and so you can do that now seamlessly with one motion, one hand, and you're not fiddling around. Especially if you're fishing alone, it's really advantageous. Or
Fishing with a group of folks who just are learning.
Yeah, because there's nothing worse than somebody giving that fish 30 seconds of leeway there where you're trying to disconnect that board. So
that's really, when I see them in action,
yeah,
pretty slick.
Yeah, it's been good. And we had a great team of guys that there's 4 of us that worked on that, and we put a lot of time and effort into that, and it worked out good. So
tell me about the rest of your product line.
Well, we have a pretty deep assortment of products, pretty much all focused on Great Lakes. It's all Great Lakes trolling stuff, but pretty much we're all fishermen. So anytime we would find a need for something, we would produce it or make what we needed. So it's all come out of necessity one way or another.
Yeah. So when you go from being a charter captain to being a lure maker, or you're making boards, you're making flashers, or whatever you're doing, talk about how that works when you're going out and you're actually seeing the problems in the world out there, the fishing world, creating products to solve them.
Well, it really just equates to the awesome network that we've built. So we get feedback from guys like Vince, and there's those guys are in every single port around the Great Lakes, and we get to listen to all that feedback and what people want, and build on that, and build products that we pride ourselves in. We're not just building stuff to sell; we're building stuff that works. So all our stuff is very tolerant, and we like to build things that have a wide speed range, or you're not locked into one specific. You're not only like with years ago. If you wanted to commit to a flasher or a Dodger program, you had to commit to a Dodger or a flasher program. Or now, we're building things that are all work at the same range of speeds, and you can do. It's just taking things that we know and making things constantly better and better. So
one of the things we hear a lot about coming out of Ohio, Pennsylvania, Ohio on Lake Erie is how competitive the guys are. But I tell you, it all really started in Ludington. That is the most competitive town. And when we visited it, you know, the 80s and 90s, I mean, these guys, they're competing everything. They're racing. Who lost the race? It's not even a tournament day. It might be a charter. They're competing between each other. And, you know, when you think how that spills over into products, you know, if I was going to assess it, they make everything you need and nothing you don't.
Okay.
Because their neighbor is their customer, and they got to look at them every day. So, I mean, it's...
Every day is a tournament in Huntington. I'm sure a lot of ports are like that, but yeah, it's really neat, really. And then, you know, everybody's razzing each other every day, and it's a tournament every day, but at the end of the day, everybody's best buddies too. So, and my friend George, who usually comes with me, he's the to the show. He's usually the biggest competitor of us all. He doesn't like to lose at all. So, you know, he's the one we're shooting for every day. He's a grinder.
George Freeman, we had him on the show a couple of years ago, and
he's my dock mate.
He's a lot of fun, and so hopefully next year he's back.
Yep.
We love him back here again.
And he's better at doing interviews like this than I am anyway, so you can have him.
The thing about this room is it's just full of good guys and full of guys that can really share information and help people out.
That's what it's all about, really. I mean, there's a lot of room. I mean, there's room for everybody to be successful, really. So
yeah. Can we get in a comment here from Chris Olson? Loves the spin doctors and the super slims. What is your most popular product, sir?
Those are probably the two right there. Those are, and now the Ninja boards, but spin doctors really what put us on the map, and super slim is now our biggest selling spoon across the board. So those are both really good products that we're proud of and glad to have.
All right, what's the most popular color in super slim? Can you give me the top three?
Historically, or like in the last?
We want to know what's hot. What's hot right now?
Well, historically, you always have like you're never going to beat the blue dolphin or the green dolphin, those types of things that just work day in and day out, and in so many different conditions. It's not like this is a bright day bait, or just those ones that work every day, like a white crush, double white crush spin doctor. I mean, that would be, if I had 6 things to pick for my toolbox to have, that would be it. Like a white crush spin doctor, just a regular old green pickled sunshine fly, a blue dolphin, a green dolphin,
on Lake Ontario, 40-second spoon.
Oh yeah, you guys use more golds and darker colors than we do. The Rasta Goose has been an amazing spoon the last several years. The Chrome Fog Spin Doctor, which is like the sleeves on my shirt here. But yeah, I'm pretty simple fisherman. I know I send Vince stuff, so I'm probably not allowed to say what he uses a lot of, but I know if he asks for something, he asks for a dozen of them. So I'm guessing he puts it on every single rod.
We do that a lot. We're pattern fishermen, but we got the 2 boats going now. But it's funny you say that, because last year I did the salmon school, and Joe Yeager said, I want in the bag your go-tos. How do I not put a white crush spin doctor in there? Now, we heard some comments about how it wasn't sexy. No, it's not. It doesn't matter. It's what the fish think. That is a staple. Everybody makes that version in their product line. So that is a staple for sure. 40-second spoon is a staple spoon.
Yep.
Lake Ontario.
It's like a steak and potato.
Yeah. And then Michigan has, it's the white spin doctor would definitely be there, but I'm sure the spoons vary a little bit.
Yeah, you guys are the 40-second, and You guys have, there's slight variations for sure, and you guys always use more darker colors and probably more gold than we use in Lake Michigan.
One of the things that I could pass on to the viewers out there is that I saw this conversation going on social media about why, Dreamweaver sometimes uses bronze hooks and other times it uses red hooks. And I know the answer to that. And the conversation didn't know the answer. They thought it was random what they had available. They try to put the red trebles on UV versions so the guys can keep them straight. Maybe they got family out. They want to make sure they get a UV bait out. Look for the red hook.
Yeah.
And that's kind of helpful, really.
Yeah.
That's why we did it. We did it just for basically anything that has any kind of a UV finish or tape or surface. We just used a red hook just to signify just to denote that. But
Right.
and I personally don't have a preference over nickel hooks versus red hooks, but some guys do. I've heard people say that red hooks aren't as sharp or but I haven't. I don't believe that personally, but yeah, that's why we did it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Shane, we're about ready to let you go. Anything else you wanted to touch on before we let you go here?
No, I just appreciate the opportunity and enjoy watching your show.
Thanks, Shane. Appreciate it.
Yep.
You want to know more about what he's got going on? Go to the website. It's dreamweaverlures.com.